Hey y'all, welcome back again to another unboxing. I had such great success with Great Garden Plants. I ended up ordering a second shipment from them and it came today. I don't know about y'all, but I tell you, getting plants in the mail, it makes me feel like a kid again. I feel like the kid at Christmas, just excited. I was outside doing my garden chores. I have to admit, like, I thought I heard the brakes of the delivery truck and I went running. So I don't know if y'all get excited about that if y'all order plants, or even if you just go and get them from your local nursery and you feel that way. Let me know in the comments so that I don't feel like I'm the only one that gets a little too excited to see plants. But I'm hoping that you get excited about seeing plants, and that's the reason why you're going to tune into this video as I show y'all what it is that I ordered. And again, like I said, this will be the second order from Great Garden Plants, and I'm hoping that I am as successful with this shipment as I was with the last. I will say it has gotten a lot hotter again here in the south. In fact, I am sweating bullets right now, so I'm a little worried about that, because you think of heat and being on a big box truck not being the best of circumstances, but hopefully everything will turn out all right. And the box came with a little bit of damage. The tape on the bottom is pulled apart, so the box being a little damaged makes me feel like maybe they didn't handle it with the most of care at FedEx, so that wouldn't be a Great Garden Plants fault, but it is the risk that you take when you're ordering online, is that it's got to get from the nursery to your house, and they aren't necessarily plant lovers like we are, or know that we even are ordering plants in order to take good care of them. So let's see what we got. The good thing is, since I do have a little experience with them, I know how these pots are going to be in this box, so I don't hopefully spill them like I did last time. Again, a little something funny, touching my hands feels a little weird when you don't know for certain what it is. I didn't figure out to the end of opening the box last time that this has a flap that unrolls essentially. Let's see if I can get these. Alright, so this is the Dolce Spearmint Heuchera from Proven Winners. Again, the bag's all nice and tight so none of the soil comes out, and that is a really healthy looking plant there. And I got 3 of these. This one looks really good as well. My paper is not as nice as the one last time, but that's okay because I didn't need it. It's just a sheet of paper, not colored and fancy, but like I said, no need in spending money on that if I were them. And it's down in there. This is the third. Got a little squish limb, but no big deal. So y'all heard me say, or y'all saw in the last video, I think it was in the last one, where we got the Firelight tidbits from a local Ace. Well, we went back and they didn't have another one in a 3-gallon pot. It's very disappointed, but I went ahead and ordered, this is what that is in a quart-sized pot. So I won't go over all the specifications on this one. You can go back to my Ace video that's going to be linked in the bottom in the description, and you can watch that video to find out more about this hydrangea. But what I decided was I would put this one in the ground as a third, and if I could find a 3-gallon somewhere, then I would pop this one out, maybe put it in a container until it gets bigger. But if not, then I've got a growing season underneath me instead of waiting and having not being able to find one. The soil feels a little bit different, and hydrangeas of this year have some tattered leaves, but overall it looks really nice. than just the dirt from it being disheveled in the box. This is also a hydrangea. Stick around to the end and I will show you all the specifics about each of these plants. So in case you're interested in going and getting them yourselves, you can see if they would fit your light and zone conditions. All right, so these plants have had a cutback, and I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but I'm a little confused because they aren't, these plants, if they are what I think they are new for 2026, just for proven winners. They are a black pot though, so you know the proven winners carry some plants that they didn't necessarily breed or aren't one of their main lines, is all I can think of. All right, so I'm assuming this is the goldenrod that I ordered. It doesn't have a tag, and oh, here it is. So yes, it is. So Solidago, and it's been cut back. So I was kind of hoping I would get, it blooms late in the year. I was hoping maybe there'd be a chance of getting a few blooms, but since it's been cut back, I'm assuming we won't see anything like that. And I got 3 of those. There's not much to look at since they've been cut back, so sorry about that. I kind of hate that, but and that's the 3rd of the goldenrod. All right, so this is a holly that's going to be new for 2026. So stay tuned to hear more about that. I'm going to get all this cleaned up like I did last time, get out the table so that y'all can get a closer look of the plants, and I'll go over the specifics of them. Okay, we're going to start here as I unboxed it with the Dolce Spearmint Heuchera, or Corabels is their common name. As you can see, they're this beautiful shade of kind of a really soft green. They have like a, I don't know, frosty appearance to it, and then you can see the veining on the plant, which I think is just really beautiful. These are kind of funny here in the South, that they will uproot themselves because they don't really love the clay. So if you have a well-draining soil, they would really prefer that. But I have heard good things. I've grown the wild berry. It's done well. And then we had to move it out because we lost the shade that it was in, and we put in some more earlier this season. And so I was looking for a full shade plant to help suppress weeds. And so I decided to give these Dolce Spearmint a try. I've heard really good things about them doing well in clay in the South. So they do sun or shade. They get 8 to 10 inches tall. They're for zones 4 through 9. So I mean, they definitely can handle the heat, though we will put them in the shade for sure. We would not be putting these out in full sun. They do bloom, and the blooms I'll show y'all here on the tag. Sorry, again, the tag is really dirty. It's kind of like a reddish pink color. The bloom is early to midsummer. And so anyways, I think these look really great. I'm excited about them. Again, this is Dolce Spearmint Heuchera, or Corabels. All right, this is Firelight Tidbit Hydrangea. And I told y'all I wasn't going to go over the details of this plant because it's in a previous video where I'm going to go into detail on a much larger plant. But I did want to share with y'all. Y'all look at this compact habit. It is so densely leaved out because they have cut it back and allowed it to be nice. That is a really great job of taking care of this plant so it's not all spindly. Really beautiful plant, and I think that y'all deserve to get to see that, because I have received plants before from other companies and they have been quite spindly. All right, y'all, I'm so excited about this one. This is Gatsby Glow Ball, and it should be in garden centers for 2026. It is an oak leaf hydrangea. I've never grown an oak leaf hydrangea, but I've heard that they do well with our heat and humidity. I've never even seen one around at any of my local garden centers or nurseries or the big box store. So this is going to be a little bit of an experiment. I chose this one because it has a little bit of a smaller stature for the garden. It's 4x4 or 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. It is zones 5 through 9. And that you grow it, not because the blooms aren't pretty, but they're supposed to have really pretty red foliage. And the color that it's gonna get, the red foliage, is gonna be for its fall color. I'll talk more about that when we get it put into the ground, about why I put it where I put it at and my hopes for it. It does say it takes sun to part sun. Again, hydrangeas in the south most of the time, unless it's paniculata, you put it in afternoon shade. So we found a place that it will do that, just that. I love the leaves on it. And again, such a great dense habit. And then I want to show y'all, they accidentally stapled, or maybe they did on purpose, the card to the pot. But this is what the blooms are supposed to look like. Very pretty. This is Gatsby Glow Ball. All right, so this is Little Lemon Solidago or Goldenrod. I've heard many people say, don't confuse this one with ragweed, which everybody hates because it makes their fall allergies flare up. But that is not this plant. This plant is goldenrod, and it's actually a really great perennial. It's wonderful for attracting bees and butterflies into your garden, so if you have a pollinator garden. What makes Little Lemon Solidago so special is its compact size. It only gets 18 inches tall by 2 feet wide, which makes it a great front of the border perennial. Also, if you've caught some of my other videos, you've heard me say that I really need some late blooming perennials. As most of us, we go into the garden centers in spring and buy up a lot of things, and some of the plants that you may be getting actually will bloom into the summer, but very few of them bloom all the way until fall. And so just to add a little bit more color interest and bloom interest into the fall, I wanted a plant that would just bloom for the first time in the fall. So that led me to the Solidago. I am really excited. I hate that there's not a card to be able to show y'all. Maybe I can pull it up online and show you a picture of what the plant looks like in bloom. It is a nice yellow, as you can tell probably from the name Little Lemon. And you'll see then that goes with the color palette that I have chosen for the other plants that I have purchased to put into the garden this fall. So here's a picture of it online of what it looks like in bloom. It's a really pretty light yellow blooms. I did read somewhere though that they do self-seed, though it is able to be contained easily. So as I've mentioned, it'll be a little bit of an experiment for me to see how well this does, how much it spreads or doesn't spread, and if it's able to handle our heat situation. So stay tuned for that. And again, I have more information on this plant as well in the previous plant haul video for a local nursery. So go and check that one out. I'll put the link to that in the description so that you can get all of the information about this plant, because y'all, this one makes you say wow. This is a Japanese holly called Glow Pop. All right, so there we go, 5 additional varieties for our garden. These came from Great Garden Plants. I would recommend it again. If you see the part 1 of this video where we had a first selection of plants, those all were fabulous. And these are just as good. And these were a little bit more dry, which is you would expect with it being hotter outside than it was when I received the first shipment. So I have no complaints with this order, and I am just so excited to see how it all goes into our fall garden planting project. Y'all please stick around, subscribe, and like this video so that y'all can see where we put them at, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas in your garden as well. We'll see y'all soon.